Now ECC to S4HANA, when we are moving it, and in this place we are moving as a greenfield implementation, we said all the data is there in ECC. Why do I need to use BODS? Why cannot I use the S4HANA? And with the S4HANA, I would be able to transfer the data. So we can use HANA Migration Cockpit for that purpose. Now this HANA Migration Cockpit, I am showing it outside, but it's not outside, it's embedded on S4HANA itself. The same we can use. What we need to do, we need to connect these two systems, and our basis team will help to set up a remote connection between these two systems. A remote connection would be built between these two systems. And with the remote connection built, you will be taking our data from here. Let's say I'm taking example of material, would be taking from here. It would be going into our HANA Migration Cockpit. Ideally, this will also go into the staging tables. Okay. And in the HANA Migration Cockpit, we will be doing all the mappings. The mappings will happen here, because when we are bringing the data from ECC to S4HANA, here your company code was, let's say, 1910, and here your company code is US 10. Here your sales organization was 1911, and here your sales organization is US 11. So these mappings need to be done. So once you are bringing the data here, it will go into the staging tables, and then in HANA Migration Cockpit, you will do all the mapping activities. Okay, all the mapping activities will be happening. After doing the mapping, you will be saying that, okay, this data is now correct. Okay, and then you would be loading the data into S4HANA. Then you would be loading the data into S4HANA. It can be only done with ECC, and it has a enhancement pack 6, 7, or 8. That is some constraint is there. It should be to the updated enhancement packs, and then you would be able to connect your ECC through the HANA Migration Cockpit directly, calling the data directly from ECC system and pushing the data directly in S4HANA system. Make sure it would be having a huge mapping activities. You need to make sure all the mappings, you maintain it in the HANA Migration Cockpit. That is the thing you need to make sure of it. Okay, that all the mappings you are maintaining it into the HANA Migration Cockpit. And all the cleansing, if you want to do it, it will be bringing all the data. If any data you don't want to move it to S4HANA, that manual call you need to take it, and you need to make sure that final import of the data you don't do it for the data you don't want to move it to S4HANA. Okay, this is very new approach, started from 1909. Now we have a little bit improved version of it, but initial 2 version I have tried to test it. This was damn slow. Then SAP provided a bunch of notes which we implemented to make it faster. It became a little bit faster, not that fast as we were expecting, but this is a very slow approach. The data transfer through the remote functions happens very slowly. Sometimes it will be creating hours when you will be calling the data, and it will be building the data into the staging tables. It can take hours of the time. Okay, and then all the manual activities, this approach can only be used, that's my personal, after using this tool, where your ECC is in a very good shape of the data. You can see the same material, same customer number, same vendor's number with the same number range we have used in S4HANA. My customer material vendor numbers are not changing. Okay, and a lot of configuration also has been done same with the same company code, same plant. Company code plant is not that much. It's a one-time mapping. You can do it and you can reuse those mappings. But your data should be really in a good shape in ECC. If you require a lot of data validations, if you require a lot of data mappings, if you require a lot of data cleansing, if you require a lot of data enrichment, this is not a good way to use it. This is if you are having a good ECC system with the good data, the same customer material vendor you need to use in S4HANA, the same number ranges are there, then this approach can be used. Otherwise, here also, either we go with the file upload approach, or we go with the, if automations are required, BODS. Because when you will directly transferring it, what will happen later on, you will require a lot of data massaging is required. And HANA Migration Cockpit is not a tool for data massaging. With this approach, it can help to just map the data and transfer it. Then it comes, the business will be coming with validation. You know that if in my previous, in my ECC, if my material group is this, my material type is this, please make sure the MRP type goes as a PD. That kind of logic start coming from the business. Although we have maintained it as an ND in my ECC system, but when I am going to S4HANA, if this logic happens, then change it to PD, MRP type to PD. These logics, these data massaging, HMC cannot handle. Okay, either you download the data in the Excel, you correct the data and upload it, or you use BODS tool and write the validation logic on the BODS. It can bring the data from ECC, it can massage the data, and it can push the data to S4HANA. Okay, that is the approach of direct transfer. This is called the direct transfer approach in the HANA Migration Cockpit.